Hello there and welcome back to my craft room. This is the third video in my Blessings of Home or Heart and Home product class for March 2022. Thanks for staying with me this long and thank you to everyone who's purchased the class. Hopefully you will enjoy this one so much you'll be back for more in the future. I have actually released my Fun Fold class for April, so if you check my website or over on my Facebook you should see that one pop up now. So if you like what you've done today, please come back for more. So this is our third card. Quite a simple little one with a series of layered squares. I have to apologise up front. I'm having terrible trouble with my stitched rectangles. Can't get them to go through my machine. I think I've had them for about 10 years, so I think they're probably lost a bit of their love. So I'm going to invest in a new set and hopefully be able to cut the rectangles more precisely in future classes. So instead of using the rectangles that I've used on this original card, I've actually cut comparable sized mats of cardstock and paper for your class, just because I wasn't happy with the cut that I was getting from my stitched rectangles after, as I say, after 10 years of loyal service. But anyway, so yeah, so I hope it won't make much difference to the actual card itself. It's still the same dimensions and cardstock, just without that stitched edge. So as I say, this is card number 3. So be careful as you get your kits out, as I say every time, because there's lots of little pieces and embellishments and everything like that. I'm going to use the thank you for inspiring me sentiment this time. I'm going to keep the for inspiring me there just to save masking that off. But actually looking at the stamp set, there are many different sentiments you could use in this one that would fit into that sized sentiment box. What a beautiful day for love would fit there. We'll get through this together would fit as well. So you've got at least three possibilities in this particular stamp set to fit that sized sentiment box there, which is 1 inch wide and I think about 2 3/8 long. Anyway, so second apologies. This is the original paper that I used in my card. You can see on the back there it's a garden green sort of leaf sort of design, and that's the one you will all have in your card kits. Thought I'd left myself enough to do my video, but obviously I hadn't, so I had to substitute this pretty little garden green design from the hand pinned flowers bundle, which is, it's just as lovely. It's not quite as dark garden green as the paper you've got, but it's the same base color, so it should work just fine. So as I say, you've got that. You've also got a basic white thick card base, should already be cut and scored for you, so we might as well pop this one together. Really lovely card, but honestly there's not much to it once it's all cut. Don't worry too much about the dimensions of the various mats. As I say, I will publish those on my website once the videos go live and I have a few minutes to sit down and pop the measurements and the product lists together, probably over the next couple of days. Okay, so first of all, obviously our piece of designer series paper goes onto our card base. That's an eighth of an inch all round because it's 1/4 of an inch smaller, the card. So you pop that there. This is a landscapes card, so we're going to be having it opening from the bottom like that. So you pop your what's this, designer series paper down. Then you've got a panel of smoky slate. Yeah, smoky slate card stock, and it's going to pop on top of our designer series paper. You want to leave probably about 1/2 inch boundary side and top on the left hand side and the top for this one, so it's going to be closer to the left hand corner than it is to the middle. So you pop that on there, and that's going to glue just in that position there. So as I say, about 1/2 inch or 1 centimetre from the edge of the cardstock, closer to the top left hand corner. This one's got a little bit of layering happening, so that's what we're offsetting our layers a wee bit. So that one pops just there like that, just glued straight down. Then you've also got a mat of the wood grain from the Heart and Home bundle. So it's got flowers on one side, but we're going to use the wood grain. And again, we're going to pop that onto our card base. At this time, we're going to set it towards the bottom right-hand corner. So the same sort of centimetre, half-inch bottom and right, but this time set towards the bottom right-hand corner. I'm going to pop that straight on like that. Forgot what I was doing there. That's it. So there, just like that. So as you can see a fair bit of that smoky slate sort of peeking out the corner of that designer series paper. Okay, so nearly done. You need, if you bought the stamp set, you'll have a blank, but you need to stamp that with the large floral image from the stamp set. So I've just used black ink. As I say, if you're using one of the other stamp sets that I suggested, probably layer your images so you get an image about this size. So I think the the Simply Succulent one would be the right size, but you probably have to layer up a couple of the images if you're using the hand-penned flowers, hand-penned petals. And anyway, this one's perfect, fits just right. So we're going to pop that onto our image. We're going to pop this one up on dimensionals. I'm just trying to get the orientation right. And I've popped it on that way. So the flower is sort of facing to the top right-hand corner. So there, like that. So that's just going to sit mostly on the wood grain panel, but overlapping onto the smoky slate a wee bit. I'm just going to grab some dimensionals. I don't know why I popped them away. I thought I must have been finished with them. Silly me. So I'm just leaving this one just blank, just stamped in black and no colouring, nothing at all. No colouring, no blends or Stella or anything happening with this one. It is just plain black and white. You can colour it if you want, but I really like that just as a sort of a white image there. So a few dimensionals on the back. And then, as I say, onto the sort of mostly onto the wood grain. Back didn't want to leave with that main flower sort of pointing up towards the top right-hand corner. There you are. Isn't that sweet? Okay, so nearly finished with this one. It's very, very quick. We might be lucky to make 15 minutes with this one. You've got, this is from the Flowers of Home die set, the one that goes with the bundle. It's a really nice sort of spray of leaves and flowers, sort of like that. But we're going to do the unthinkable and we're going to chop it up. So we're going to chop it. You can tell, I'll just show you here, it's a sort of a symmetrical image, so to speak, there's a flower with a couple of leaves in the middle and then some flowers and leaves coming off to the left and coming off to the right. So what we want to do is we want to leave that central flower and a couple of leaves intact and chop off the two ends, I suppose you'd call them. So chop them off there and chop them off there. So these two sprigs here, we're going to keep them together. We're going to glue them up under, probably should have been a bit more careful with the placement of my dimensionals. I'm going to place them, just popping their little heads up from behind the image here. Come on. Just like that. So I'm going to glue them there. And then, not liking to waste anything, we've got this cute little flower here with its couple of little buds coming off it. just tidy up where we've cut the other one off just to make it a little bit tidy. We're just going to pop him just down, just peeking his little head down here. There we are, like that. Okay, so that just adds a little bit of colour at that bottom right-hand corner. So we'll do that now. So we'll bring these out, pop a little glue on their stems, and feed them back through there. As I say, we should have thought ahead. There's a little bit of gap there with no dimensional, so I can feed it through. Hopefully you guys are watching the videos before you do the cards, so you'll have all these little hints stored away in your brain. So they just poke their little heads out there, and then this one, some glue on the back. And in just under there a wee bit. There we are. Okay, very, very nearly done now. So we've got our little sentiment box here. Going to just stamp that. I'm going to use garden green just to continue the colour from the background through to the front. I'm going to use thank you for inspiring me and use the whole thing to save, not to save having to mask off like we did in the first video. Pop that on. As such. Then this one's going to come off towards the left-hand side of our image. It's going to cover over a wee bit, but not too much if we place it properly. So just off like that. So we're going to have some dimensionals on the left-hand end, and we'll pop some glue on the right end just to, as it rests on that raised image there. So again, dimensionals on the left-hand end. Wee bit of glue where it's going to rest on our image. My glue won't come out. It came in a blob, and just popping that on like this. There we are. Pretty much done. It's really nice. I like that one. I'm a green blue girl, as you guys know. Okay, last bit is you've got some iridescent gems. You should have 3, as long as they haven't dropped on the floor. And I'm going to pop those around. I always like, when I'm placing my gems, I always like to pop at least one on the actual sentiment, because that sort of highlights the sentiment. And then I find a little nook or cranny in the image to tuck another couple away in. So there's a little nook and cranny there, and then there's another little indent here. I always like to try someone told me once to always put my embellishments in a sort of a triangular shape. So I always try to stick to that. So there, we've got a triangle of little embellishments there, just with a wee bit of bling happening there, as you can see. Could probably pop a couple up here. If you've got some iridescent gems at home, it might be nice to have another couple up here. But we've got the 3 there in a triangle. Okay, so that's card number 3. You could always pop a sentiment on the inside or some sort of stamp or something. That would be lovely as well. So that's card number 3. As I say, thanks so much for purchasing this class. I also made a lovely donation to the Ukraine crisis response for the Save the Children as a result of all your lovely purchases this time round, which is much appreciated. I am actually making the same $5 donation for my April Funfold class. If you'd like to pop onto my Facebook page and have a look there, that will also go towards the Ukraine, the Save the Children Ukraine response as well. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that class. If you're watching on replay after the class is finished and you'd like to partake in my classes or participate in my classes, please send me an email or go over to my Facebook page and contact me via that medium. You'll always see the classes I have currently on offer. I have 2 a month, the product class based on a product and the fun fold class, which all you need is your own sentiments. So basically you get everything else that you need. You don't need any particular product type to complete those cards. Anyway, thanks again. Hope you enjoyed this class. Anything is clear, unclear, or missing, please reach out. I like to have happy customers, and if there's anything missing, I will go out of my way to make sure you get everything you need. So, thanks again. Have a great day, and I will chat to you all next time.